Trafficking is the practice of exploiting adults and children for use as commodities or objects in conditions of sexual and labor servitude. There are two types of human trafficking, one being forced labor trafficking and the other being sexual trafficking. Victims of forced labor trafficking are often forced to work without pay. Sometimes they are also forced to live in the place that they work. Sometimes victims are forced to live in small spaces not much bigger than the room that I'm in right now. They're often forced to live there with multiple other victims of human trafficking. These people live with no electricity, no heat, no running water. Therefore, they cannot use the bathroom. They're cold in the wintertime and they're burning up in the summertime. They don't have beds, they don't have blankets. They're pretty much treated like barn animals. 24.9 million people are victims of this. 16 million people are trafficked in the private economy. The private economy being private individuals, groups, or companies in all sectors besides the commercial sex industry. The other form of human trafficking is sex trafficking. 4.8 million people are trafficked for sexual exploitation. 3.8 million adults and 1 million children. Victims of this will be forced to have sex against their will with their abductor or with multiple other people. They pretty much do as the person who abducted them says because they fear for their life. They live in fear. Keep in mind that this happens to children. Imagine your child being taken and being forced to have intercourse with multiple men or women, doesn't matter. Anyone can be trafficked. It can be women, men, boys, girls, anybody. Although women and girls do account for 71% of all victims, but it can still happen to men and boys. That is why everyone needs to take these simple safety precautions to ensure that they are safe and everyone around them is safe. 1, you should always stay in groups when you're in public. If you're in a group, the abductor is less likely to target you because you're with multiple people. They can't fight off multiple people whenever they try to get you. Avoid truck stops unless you're with a group of people there. Always be aware of your surroundings and pay close attention to the behavior of the people you are around, and be aware of the behavior of the people your friends are around. So if your friend is talking to somebody new, you don't get a good feeling, you feel like something's off, they're extremely weird, then you should address that to your friend and you should tell her that you don't feel safe and that you would like to leave. Make sure that your friends don't end up alone or go missing. If you're at a big football game, your friend needs to go to the bathroom, go with her. Never be alone. Don't ever be alone. That makes you a higher target. Another thing is to always check your vehicle before getting in. Whenever I get into my car and I'm alone, I always look in my front windows and check and make sure there's nobody there. If it's dark, turn my flashlight on, look in there, look in the front, look in the middle, look in the back. It's also been known that traffickers will hide under your car and try to capture you that way. So I always look under my car if I'm about to get in and I've been alone. I always just act like I am going to tie my shoe. I'll show you. Act like I'm going to tie my shoe and look under my car as I'm doing it, so it doesn't make it as noticeable that I am searching for somebody. Then we need to look at how we can keep other people safe. If you notice that someone is unable to speak for themselves or they can't be alone with anyone else, then that is not a good sign. If a person answers questions as if they have been rehearsed, that's not a good sign either. That just shows that they're terrified. The person that they are with probably has ownership over them. If you notice strange tattoos such as a barcode on somebody, that represents ownership. That means that the person they are with could potentially be a victim of human trafficking. If you believe that someone is in danger, call the National Human Trafficking Resource Center or call their number 1-888-373-7888. In case of emergency, call your local authorities immediately, of course. I gathered all this information from